Good morning. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. I'm Barry Bryson. We're continuing our study of the book of Matthew, the Gospel of Matthew. And yesterday, the 12 apostles were called. Today, they received their limited commission. This passage is often called the limited commission when we compare it to the Great Commission at the end of Matthew's Gospel. So let's read verses 5 through 15. These 12 Jesus sent out, instructing them, "Go nowhere among the Gentiles and enter no town of the Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and proclaim as you go, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, raise the dead, raise the dead." Did you see that? Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse lepers, cast out demons. You received without paying, give without pay. Acquire no gold or silver or copper for your belts, no bag for your journey, or 2 tunics or sandals or a staff, for the laborer deserves his food. And whatever town or village you enter, find out who is worthy in it and stay there until you depart. As you enter the house, greet it. If the house is worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it is not worthy, let your peace return to you. And if anyone will not receive you or listen to your word, shake off the dust from your feet when you leave that house or town. Truly I say to you, it will be more bearable on the day of judgment for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah than for that town. Okay. Very practical at the beginning. And as we compare it to the Great Commission, we see that it is quite a limited commission. It is not go into all the world, and it's not preach the gospel to every nation, and it's not baptize them and teach them to observe all I've commanded you. It's limited in scope, it's limited in message. And yet, it has principles. These instructions express principles that they would take with them for the rest of their lives. I mentioned some of the things we know about the apostles yesterday. I failed to mention that James, the brother of John, was the first one we know to be martyred. He was executed by Herod in Acts chapter 12. We know from history, from pretty reliable historical sources, that James the Less made his way all the way to India. So these guys, they were missionaries for the rest of their lives. And I think they learned principles in this passage that they took with them for the rest of their lives. Principles like preach. The message is primary. It's the message first. And as you have opportunity, serve. Serve while you preach, because the service itself will be the proof of your preaching. Don't acquire lots of stuff. You don't need lots of luggage on this trip. In the first place, the laborer is worthy of his pay. You know, the brethren can feed you on the way. They should feed you on the way. Also, stuff just holds you back. You can't serve God on your stuff. He already told us that in Matthew chapter 6, didn't he? So there is the prohibition about acquiring a bunch of stuff. There is the whole matter of respecting the hospitality of people who are willing to offer you hospitality. And then there is the respecting of free will. If they're not going to accept your message or you, then let your blessing come back to you, shake off the dust from your feet, and move on. Because there are a lot of people who need to hear your message, and there's a lot of work to do. In fact, he tells them by the end, you're not going to get it done. It's not going to be finished in your lifetime. You're just not. It's not going to be done. We'll still be working on this when I come again. So those principles are not only applicable for the rest of their lives, but for ours as well. That the message is primary, that service is necessary to offer the proof of the message, that our stuff will just get in the way and hold us back, that we should respect the hospitality of those and the blessing of those and the welcome of those who offer it to us and cherish that. And that we should respect the free will of others, because he's already told them in chapter 7, most people are not going to accept the message. He already gave us this hard math fact. And in just the prior chapter, just a few verses before, he also gave us the second math fact. There are more people out there who will accept the message than we can reach if we don't have help. So pray for help. And everything he tells them really is in keeping with those two things that he's delivered. Okay, he's going to get down to the reality of the way the world is that they're about to enter next time. We'll pick up with verse 16. Thank you so much for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word.